Well, millions of Americans report they suffer from a sensitivity to gluten, a protein found in wheat and other grains. But a new study found just 1/3 of the people diagnosed with non-celiac gluten sensitivity actually felt symptoms when introduced to flour containing gluten. This is confusing because so many things now are gluten-free. Why is it so commonly mistaken?
Right. So there are really two separate conditions here, two separate entities. The first is one called celiac disease. It's a well-understood autoimmune disorder. It's actually fairly common. It has a genetic component. And for people who have that disease, they cannot tolerate gluten, which is a protein found in barley, wheat, rye, and some oats, at all. It causes inflammation in their small intestine and a whole host of symptoms ranging from rashes to anemia. And the treatment is complete avoidance of gluten. This is something, though, that can be diagnosed clearly. You can do a small intestinal biopsy or blood tests and really figure out if someone has celiac disease. On the other hand, there's a different entity, which is called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. That's thought to be a more mild disorder, almost like an allergic sensitivity to gluten. And it's being used to explain symptoms like brain fog or lack of energy or mild digestive symptoms. The idea is that these people have a very slight sensitivity, and if you take gluten out of their diet, they're going to feel better. The problem is there's not a clear diagnostic test for it, and it's become really trendy recently. So I think a number of people are being diagnosed with this disorder who don't actually have it.
Okay, well, I mean, to Holly's point, Tara, we see these gluten-free diets becoming more and more popular, but if you don't actually have a sensitivity, is there a health risk in these diets?
So there can be risks, Anthony, actually. You know, one of the big ones is deficiencies of important vitamins and minerals. So when you eat a gluten-free diet, you might be missing out on B vitamins, on iron, on calcium, zinc. In addition, you may be missing out on healthy gut bacteria that we know is important for our immune system. You may not be getting enough fiber, which is not only important for the health of your bowels, but for weight management, for cardiovascular disease prevention. And then also, a lot of these gluten-free foods, in order to make them taste good, they're packed with sugar and fat and sodium, and so you may end up packing on the pounds. And lastly, there's a risk to your wallet. So a lot of these gluten-free foods are actually very expensive.